Kick-ass facts! Pew, 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 pew! Adriano Celentano is an Italian singer, actor, comedian, and TV personality. His 1972 song, sure, is basically 3 minutes of pure nonsense. It is meant to mimic what American songs sound like to non-English speakers. The whole point is that it feels like you should understand it, but you don't. I mean, like he says, all right, a few times. It did surprisingly well in Europe and later became a cult favorite because of how perfectly it mimics the rhythm of English. It is so good, though. The word hussy started out as a term for housewife. Just like hubby came from husband, hussy came from housewife. It's from Old English huswif, a compound of hus, house. I could be or could not be pronouncing this correctly, I don't know. And wif, woman or wife. By the 1500s, huswif had already shifted phonetically to hussy, and the word gradually lost its respectable tone. In the 17th century, it began to imply a disreputable or impudent woman. René Laennec invented the stethoscope in 1816 because he didn't love the idea of putting his ear directly on a woman's chest. He thought it would be improper. Good for you. He rolled up some paper into a tube, tried it, and realized that he could hear the heartbeat even better. This simple observation inspired the invention of the stethoscope. Have you ever wondered why school grades go A, B, C, D, and F? There's no E? Well, some kids are dumb. You may or may not want to hear it, but it's true. Schools in the early 1900s did use an E to mean failing. Over time, they realized students confused E for excellent, so they changed it to F so the message would be painfully clear. Fail. Back in the day, Sesame Street did a parody of the Beatles song Hey Jude called Hey Food. Their parody caught the attention of Northern Songs, the company that owned the rights to a lot of the Beatles music, and they didn't like it. They sued Sesame Street for $5.5 million, but before the lawsuit could go anywhere, the rights to Northern Songs changed hands. Michael Jackson ended up buying the catalog in the mid-1980s, which included the rights to Beatles songs. Once he owned the catalog, he had the power to settle disputes just like this one, and he did. He chose to settle with Sesame Street for $50. Despite what everyone calls them, ashes from cremation are really processed bone fragments. After the cremation, the remaining pieces get ground up in a machine called a cremulator to create the sand-like material families receive. It's why the texture and weight feel so different from wood ash. I'm going to take their word for it because I've never actually put my hand in there. And my friends of a certain age, you may remember Columbia House and or BMG. Back in my day, it was Columbia House Records and Tapes. For the uninitiated, you would get 12 CDs for a penny, and then you would commit to buying, 10 or 12 full price CDs over the next 3 years from this mail order system. David Russo came up with thousands of fake identities to snag those first-time customer deals on CDs to the tune of 22,000 CDs. Then he would turn around and sell them all for a profit. This went on for years until the law finally caught up with him, and then he was charged and convicted. He pleaded guilty to mail fraud, faced up to 18 months in jail, and fines of up to $250,000, though it is unclear if he actually served any time. In the 18th century, rich people sometimes paid poor, often young donors to have their healthy teeth pulled out of their face and transplanted into their own mouths. With zero understanding of infection or immune rejection, most of these transplants didn't work out. Raw or undercooked red kidney beans contain a toxin that can make you seriously sick. Nausea, vomiting, stomach cramps within hours. Just boil them hard for 10 minutes and it will destroy the toxin, even if you're using a slow cooker. Slow cookers often don't get hot enough, so tossing them in dry can be dangerous. Just boil those bitches up and you'll be fine. The good news, canned kidney beans are already cooked, so they are safe to eat straight out of the can.